Today's the day we are packing for our Seattle trip, and we got a lot to do. Here's the thing. I'm starting over. I am starting over with YouTube. And what I don't mean to say is I'm going to delete my channel and I'm going to just start a clean one from scratch. That's not really the thing. That'd be a lie. But what I am starting over is just like how I want to think about YouTube. I've been told more recently that this is like a trend, but more than like just following trends, that doesn't mean anything to me. I want to have more conversations, not because I want to build an audience, but specifically because I want to get better at speaking. I want to get better at speaking to people. And this is, I think, one of my favorite and best ways to do it. I recently went to a career day at an intermediate school. It's kind of a last minute request, but I am going to be talking to some kids about what I do. Okay, we made it. We got to go find our classroom so that we can get this rolling. Should be fun. Today we're going to talk about storytelling. Storytelling specifically within the context of what is. I didn't really know what to talk about. I had 4 classes full of like 20 to 30, what are they? Like 11, 12, 13-year-olds. People who may or may not know what video making is about. And I was kind of, not stumped, but I didn't know what to talk about. And I know that if I had more reps, more practice, more time just sharing this stuff with people, then that would have been better. And I'm kind of in a stage of life where we're passing on information. We are sharing more with people who are just getting started. And that's really been my passion and my vision and my mission since the day one of opening this company. Like, I really want to share these experiences with people. I really want other creatives to have opportunities in this space here in Hawaii. It's a very small community with a lot of opportunities, but I'd love to just expand that, because I know that just the media space in general is such a underserved but oversaturated place. I'm hoping to do something about that. But when it comes to storytelling, I really do feel like authenticity beats cinematography in so many ways, specifically in the social media space, but also just in like the people connecting space. Sorry, I gotta charge some batteries while we do this. Let's see. Boop. Okay. Sorry, we have another shoot coming up, and we got to get some of this other stuff out. And yes, you can see the mess that is our desk of things. We got some V-mount batteries, so we'll just charge these up. Okay, batteries are on charge. Next thing we'll need to do is get media offloaded. So, yeah, I am going to be transitioning away from like this idea of everything needs to be cinematic to something more that everything has to be a bit more personable. And I feel like I can do that. I feel like that's something that even within the work that we do, we're often just documenting life as it happens, whether we're chasing down airplanes or we're in a factory with chefs or small business owners. Like, there's a lot of what we do that isn't apparently cinematic by nature, but the stories themselves are so compelling. And our goal, our mission with all of that is to bring the extraordinary out of the ordinary. And there's something just poetic and interesting about doing that. I love being able to help share other people's stories, but not in this like hyper, this has to mimic Hollywood styles or techniques or like even workflows, because I feel like people aren't used to that. People aren't comfortable with that. As soon as you bring lights and microphones onto somebody's property, like everything changes. The dynamic of what they do changes. And you lose a lot of just the personality of businesses. And we often work with small businesses. There's something that gets lost as soon as cameras come out, and we're trying to avoid that. And even for me, like as I'm kind of talking to you right now, there's a lot more just kind of a casualness to this conversation that I feel like will not just connect more, but allows me to have less of this perfectionism tendency, which has often stopped me from making stuff before. Okay, wait, I gotta go turn on my servers. Okay, we have two QNAP servers that are wired via a 10 gig switch. This is a Netgear switch, 10 gig switch. So these two servers feed our edit suites, edit 1, edit 2, and my bay as well. And then from there we can also connect to a freelance station. Sorry about the mess. Again, okay, so as we wait for the servers to spin up, this notion of like just kind of starting over, like I feel often more comfortable handling a $100,000 campaign for a client than I do making YouTube videos, because with any project, with any assignment, you're given a task and you have a very particular result that you're trying to hit, whether that's for brand or advertising or marketing or documenting real-time events. And when you have a goal that's given to you by somebody else, it's easier to say, I know how to accomplish that thing. When it comes to YouTube, when it comes to content creation, like there's no goal. There's no task, there's no like end product that you're trying to reach. In some ways, it's like this never-ending cycle of how can I make other people satisfied or fulfilled or entertained or educated. And I'm like, I don't really have the mental bandwidth to continue to do that while I'm trying to help my clients build what they're in need of building and help my team get to the next stages of their career and to the next stages of the projects. And so just, I don't know, my creativity has limits. My mental, like just producing faculties also have limits. I've got boundaries as human, as a human, also as a dad, as a husband, as a boss. Like I have to think about other things, and content creation is just not one of them, because I'm trying to perform for other people. Now, if I actually take this as the assignment, not to appease anybody else, but really just share what's going on, share the stories, document real life, then I've given myself an assignment. I know what the task is. It's not this never-ending flow of can I get more views, or can I get a brand deal, or something along those lines. Those are much more like, I don't know how to do that. I'm uncomfortable with doing that because there's no real assignment. So this gives me a way to have direction, to have a purpose, to have a point. And if that's to help people and myself as a growth journey, how do I get better as a speaker? How do I get better at showing up? How do I get better at documenting my life? And that's the assignment. I think I can do that. I can actually build a system around that just in my brain, not necessarily a Notion board or a Milanote, org chart or something like that, but just in my brain, I can think about it differently. It makes it way more doable, and also just way more interesting to me, because I love helping people, and I bet you do too. Like, I bet you would love to help other people. I think intrinsically as people, there is this innate desire to help others. So why not do that with video? If I can help other people out while I'm on my own creative journey, I think that's a win all around. And I can do that in between the moments where I'm doing my client work. And then I'm not having to worry about bringing big cameras to capture my small moments. I'm not having to storyboard out or mind map things or build production schedules around my life, because I'm already doing that. Whether that's planning for, my kiddos' swim practice, or planning around our youngest son's naps, and trying to spend time with my wife. Like, I don't want to chart that out. I don't want to map that out, because that's what life is. Life is about human experiences. If I can make this about human experiences and bring that into every day, I think that'll be way easier. And the iPhone probably has to be my tool. It kind of stinks, because like every time I try to start up like a new thing, I try to overproduce it. I try to overcomplicate it, because that's what I naturally do when it comes to video. Like, this is my sweetheart. This is the thing that I do to make a living. And if I can't do that, if I can't do this at the level that I'm used to doing it at, it's really hard for me to get started. So I'm starting today. I'm starting with you. I'm hoping that not just that this is interesting to you, but I'm hoping that I can make this interesting for me. That's the switch that I need to flip. We'll catch you in the next one. Aloha.